Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our A to Z series, focusing on supporting children with reading and learning difficulties. I'm Florence Callender, your educational consultant, learning strategist, and the Difference in Learning speaker, with over 25 years of experience in helping children overcome challenges in their educational journey. Today's letter is K, and our focus is on kinesthetic learning. Let's start by talking about what that is. Kinesthetic learning is a way in which children learn best through physical activity, by touching and doing and moving. Unlike traditional learning methods where children rely heavily on listening to a lecture or watching demonstrations, kinesthetic learners thrive when they can engage their whole body in the learning process. It's sometimes referred to as tactile learning because the process involves physical activities that stimulate the learner's senses of touch and motion. So, does your child learn best through experiencing or doing things? Do they thrive in active learning environments where they can physically engage with the material, like remembering a story better when they role play how it took place? If I just described your child, they may be kinesthetic learners. It's important to understand kinesthetic learning because, you see, everyone has a unique way that they learn best. And for some children, the traditional sit at your desk and listen to a lecture style teaching may not be the most effective. Kinesthetic learners often excel. In other words, they shine in hands-on settings where they can touch, they can create, they can move as part of the learning process. Now, let's talk about how this type of learning relates to children with reading and learning difficulties. Do you have a child who has a ton load of trouble just sitting at their desk to complete a reading or writing assignment, but they can sit for hours building a model with their Lego bricks or conducting a science experience? Or has your child's teacher ever reported to you that your child just constantly wants to get up, move around during the class when it's really sit down and work time, and they just find an excuse to jump up and go do something? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then your child may very well be a kinesthetic learner. For children with learning difficulties, kinesthetic learning can be both a strength and a challenge. Younger children, particularly those under the age of 9, they're more likely to be kinesthetic learners. This tendency can be attributed to several developmental factors and the natural learning processes that are predominant in early childhood. Now, as they grow, their learning style may evolve. But in early childhood, kinesthetic learning is a common and effective way for them to grasp new concepts and skills. Because kinesthetic learners process information differently, they may find typical classroom environments where learning is often sedentary, slow, sit-down, lecture-based. They may find that type of learning challenging. So they tend to appear distracted, fidgety, or disinterested. Not because they don't want to learn, but because the teaching style doesn't align with their natural strengths. So this can lead to frustration, decreased motivation, and even behavioral issues if their learning needs are not met. However, when you recognize and embrace kinesthetic learning, you can help your child thrive by engaging them in ways that make sense to them, make sense to their brain and how their brain works. And that's where practical strategies come in. One of the most effective strategies that you can use to help your kinesthetic learner is to integrate movement into their learning tasks. Now, it's important to remember that every brain is different. Every brain is unique, and what works for one child may not work for another, even if they are siblings. So understanding your child's preferred learning style, each of your children, if you have more than one, can make a huge difference in their educational experience. So remember, treat each child individually and uniquely because they are. Thank you so much for watching. If you found today's tips helpful, please show your support by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. And remember, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos in this series. In the next video, we will be discussing the letter L and looking into language processing and the difficulties experienced by children who have language processing deficits. Let's work together to make learning fun, fast, and easy for every child. Because, as Frederick Douglass said, it's easier to build strong children than to fix broken men and women. Until the next time, bye-bye now.